The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Now Austin Eckler on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Time to focus in on Phillip Rivers as he brings out the Chargers offense. And looking back to Week 4, Rivers passed John Elway to move into 8th place all-time in passing yards. And the two guys ahead of him now in 6th and 7th, both active, both from his draft class, Charles. Eli Manning and... This is Melvin Gordon, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017, and I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Set! 380!
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. Well, a pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. Crabtree the target on that one.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now Rivers. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Baltimore's offense coming back onto the field. And for the Ravens, Charles, it's really no question that the season sort of changed when Lamar Jackson was put in at quarterback. He ran off 4 wins in his first 5 starts. The only loss in that stretch overtime at Kansas City. And he really gave him life, didn't he?
He certainly did. And give credit to the Baltimore Ravens staff led by head coach John Harbaugh to not only make the change, but institute the type of offense that would give him a chance to be successful. Heavy run-based, him being a full part of the run game, and it has confounded defenses around the league so far.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Rookie Derwin James with a pick. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Well, look at that, Chuck. A rookie picked the rookie on that play.
How about that? Is that rookie?